Hi guys, welcome to the Failed Grad podcast. This will be the first episode with me, Taz, and Lya, who's also on the line.
Yes, hello everyone.
So we're just going to cover a lot of the things that are happening today, recently, like I mentioned in the short intro podcast. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I thought we'd start off with kind of some anecdotes, I guess, just to kind of not introduce ourselves, but I don't know, give this podcast some sort of personality, I guess. Lya, do you want to start off?
Well, I was actually hoping you could start.
Okay. So I think, yeah, like I was saying,
Just pass the ball right back to you.
yeah. So I thought, I don't know what I'm saying. So the most embarrassing thing that's happened to me, recently, I would say, this is so bad I don't want to talk about it. So I was on the train trying to get back into Leicester. So it was coming to the kind of period where like the train was literally stopping in Leicester, and that day it was like raining so bad. So I didn't really want to like hang about and get my keys out of my pocket. So bearing in mind I had my earphones as well, and then I have my music on kind of loud, I guess.
So you weren't really hearing what was going on around you?
Yeah, not really. So then I was like, okay, let me get my keys out, and then I was wearing like a new jacket that I've never had, like I never really worn it before, and then I didn't realize that my keys were getting stuck in the zipper because obviously I couldn't hear anything. So I was like pulling out my keys, and then on my keys I have like I don't want to call it a rape alarm, but it kind of is. But it's like a personal security alarm that I got from the Freshers Fair, like when like the Leicestershire police came. So, yeah, so then I was yanking my keys out, not realizing that thing was like stuck in the zippery bit, like the thing.
And you switched it on.
Yeah, and then I had my keys in my hand, and the next thing you could hear is this massive like beeping noise, and I was like, "Shit, is this is this me?" And then you could see people around me just like they were like, "What the hell is going on?" And then
do you think they recognized what it was?
I think so, because I think nobody was like majorly panicking apart from me, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is me." And then I was trying to like at that time I was so nervous I couldn't even get the pinhole back in the like safety alarm thing, so you could just hear this thing going on for ages, and then me just trying to put this thing in and it wouldn't go through, and then my ear, like I told you I had my earphones in, they were like the wired wired ones, and then everything was just getting tangled, and I just took my earphones out, and then that lead was just tangled with it. I'm just trying to like fix this thing, and eventually, like what felt like years later, I managed to like turn it off, but it'd been going on for so long that I was just so embarrassed. And I was like, yeah, guys, I'm just sorry. At that point, I'd literally lost all
embarrassment. Did you have any disapproving old people on the journey with you?
To be honest, I think I was so embarrassed. I didn't really look around that much. And then I think the guy in front of me, obviously, it was like, the chair, and then you have like the table seat thing, and then you have so the guy was basically sat in front of me, and he obviously saw the whole thing, and he just like laughed and played it off. But I think
that's not too bad then. They thought it was funny.
Yeah, but I think that was the worst thing definitely the most embarrassing thing that has happened to me.
I think what's worth remembering as well is that how you remember it is very different from how everyone else remembers it. So for them, it was just another thing that happened that day.
Yeah, but imagine...
they didn't really think about it afterwards. But obviously for you, it's quite different.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, if it was me who heard that on the train, I'd be like, what the hell is going on?
Taking the security very seriously?
Clearly not, because I don't. No one like really did any. I didn't see anybody like walking up and down like, like they normally have the train people that collect the tickets.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, like, didn't one of the you have those people on the train who collect the tickets and all that, and they are there for basically security purposes. Didn't one of those people come over?
No, I think it was because we were all literally almost at the platform, so I got my keys out literally a few minutes before getting into like Leicester.
Right.
And so yeah, I didn't really like.
Because it sounds like exactly the kind of scenario that would be there for.
Yeah, I mean, that if I heard that, I would have definitely been like panicked. But
At
obviously,
least it wasn't like any like exploding kind of sound.
yeah, exactly. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's definitely the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me in quite a while.
It doesn't sound too bad, if I'm being honest.
Right, Lya, do you have a embarrassing story for us then?
Well, Taz, I am so glad you've asked. Yes, I do. Multiple ones, but if I had to recount the most recent instant is would be how did I say it before? Sorry.
Yeah, so we're saying this as in before because we had a bit of an audio mishap. So we're re-recording this segment.
On your end, just
yeah,
to be clear.
My mishap. I accidentally deleted it. I had some background noises. So yeah, we're gonna keep this bit in to keep it real. Yeah. So
fine.
Lya's just gonna retell her story. So that's why this kind of seems a little bit rehearsed.
Well, so I had speaking of mishap, I had because at university we had all our scheduled timetable sessions deleted because of the university strikes going on and then because of the coronavirus. So I had a completely empty timetable until one day 2 mysterious sessions showed up, and because it included the names of some people of my department, I assumed that I was meant to show up there. Only I wasn't. It was for second year students, and so when I came on the day, I didn't recognize anyone in the classroom. I didn't recognize the teacher, and they didn't recognize me, so they didn't really know what I was doing there. So I was just kind of standing in the door, trying to kind of explain my presence, basically, and say, "Oh, I meant to have I have a timetable session here." And the teacher finally turns to me and he says, "Oh, can I just have a look on your phone to see, to check what really shows up on my timetable, because we have them online basically and as an app on our phones as well." And he said, "Oh yeah, that is indeed there. Are you about to go into your second year?" And as a finalist, obviously I'm not, so I'm really not meant to be there. And so basically I just kind of took my phone quickly and walked out.
So you walked into a room where you didn't really...
I wasn't meant to be there, basically.
Yeah. Also, guys, if you're listening to this, which we're hoping you're listening to this, the audio might seem a bit weird because this is our first episode. But we're new.
Trialing.
Yeah, but we're new to the whole podcast thing, so the audio might seem a bit weird. So hold on with this. We are gonna try and
fix it.
Yeah, we're gonna try and improve it. But if you guys know any softwares we can try and use, or like how we can figure this out, because obviously we're in 2 different locations. So I'm recording Lya's voice also from here, so her voice might seem a bit muffled, but we're going to try and figure out in the next episode how to figure that out, so hopefully it should be a lot clearer. But if you guys know anything, then obviously please comment.
Just improve as we go.
Yeah, exactly. But like you said, like the whole like coronavirus thing and the strikes, it literally it messed up third year so much. And I feel like we are like allowed to complain about it.
Listen, I signed a petition and I'm still regarding refunds, because basically, we're paying our student fees for seminars and lectures that we simply didn't have in any shape or form. So to me, it's only logical that those should be refunded.
Yeah, especially you, because like I feel like for me, I wasn't affected by strikes literally at all. Mainly like just the whole COVID situation, which was unavoidable. But like
but mostly humanities and art.
Yeah, but you basically you finished what, back in February then, according to that whole thing.
Early February, you could say. I haven't really, other than that mishap that I just recounted, I haven't really had any formal sessions scheduled. So basically that's a whole semester missing.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like people should definitely get refunds, because that's the only thing that makes sense, really.
I mean, maybe it's just my pessimism speaking, but I'm not very confident that that will be the case. But here's hoping.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't think so either. But
no, I'll be honest. I'd be very, very surprised if they actually did do that.
Because I saw loads of people like saying somewhere else that they're getting refunds, like small amounts, but at least they're getting something. I guess it's better than nothing.
Yeah, not with us, or at least not my year group or my uni. That wasn't the case.
Yeah, but
they're holding on to every pound.
Yeah, basically. And
now you don't mind me saying it that way.
Yeah, but now they're doing like whole online learning, which is understandable because obviously.
We didn't even get that because at the time, as I said, the strikes and the virus hit us. They didn't have like an online system figured out yet.
Yeah.
So we didn't even get that.
But like they're saying that in September that's what they're gonna do, but I feel like, there's
definitely
lower like fees or something, because you're not even getting the full in-person university experience. I mean, in a way,
with a subject like English, for example, where you don't have that many scheduled in-person sessions anyway. To put even that small amount online, to me, it just sounds ridiculous, and then pay £9,000 per year.
Because I saw like an article as well, where there was this girl who's saying that, I'm an English student and we don't have that many contact hours anyway.
By the way, that's the perfect English student impression. That's exactly how we speak.
Yeah, and then they were like, we don't have any like contact hours. We don't really have much contact hours anyway. So like, if it was to be all online, which obviously it's going to be, then there's not a lot of like, you don't get to meet people who are on your course, so that you miss out on that social aspect entirely, sort of thing.
Especially educators as well. I mean, what you're doing really is paying for their time and their expertise in a particular subject that you decide to study. So to completely miss that, basically. What they're doing. Online is always a second-hand experience.
Yeah, definitely.
So you can't even compare it to learning in person. Or meeting your teachers in person. So to me, it only makes sense. Like, I mean, let's be honest. Even in-person teachings aren't worth £9,000 a year. So even that's a lot.
You're paying for PowerPoints basically, and what's it called?
Then to move that online as well, to me, just seems ludicrous. So if I was, if speaking now today, if I was about to go off to university, I'd think really hard whether I would actually go.
Yeah, I was literally just going on to say, like, that you finished your degree now. Do you think it was worth like the money and the time?
It's so funny you ask that, because this is just something I was talking with my dad just I think yesterday morning, and what I was saying to him is, well, as much as I'm happy I've had this experience, because I've always wanted to go to university. So it wasn't just something I spontaneously decided I need to do to kill time. I've always planned on, I wanted to go to university to study this very specific subject, and I'm happy I've done that. But was it given the amount of debt I put myself in, was it worth it? I'm not so sure. Because it's not like you're securing yourself with employment either.
Yeah, exactly. Especially
it's an art subject.
Yeah, especially like even like me. Like I mentioned in the intro mini episode, that I'm from a science background, so a STEM. I did medical biochemistry, and even me.
Which is what we, by the way, for those listening, what we call a quote-unquote useful subject. STEM subject.
Yeah, but even with me, like, I don't have a guaranteed job. Like, I'm actively looking for work now. And
exactly, because they're not really, what they're teaching is that they're not really training you or preparing you for careers or writing visa or employment or anything like that.
And the thing is, the most ironic thing about it is because when I was 16, before I had my GCSE results, obviously I was like, I'm gonna go get a job, like I'm gonna go get money. So when I was
I'm gonna go get money.
yeah. So when I was 6, Yeah, when I was 16, I went out and obviously got a job, and I think it only took me like a few weeks to get a job, which is crazy thinking about me now, like how I'm trying so hard. So I had a
Yeah.
job from when I was 16 till last year when last October when I decided that I wanted to concentrate on my third year. So I had that job from then to last October, so when I was 21. So I had that job for 5 years. And now that I'm trying to get back into work, when I think I actually need, I think I still need, I needed it then to help me with paying for uni. But like
Yeah.
now, it's just, I can't even get a job. And I've been looking actively for what, I think 2 months now.
Yeah, because that's interesting you say that, because a couple months ago we spoke and you seemed very set on doing further study or
Yeah.
an MA. But now, like, given this, I mean, we're talking pre-coronavirus, sort of. But now talking, I don't know how many people are confident about, going to university, actually, because, it is an uncertain time and you
Yeah.
don't know. And I mean, it is, and let's also say it, it's not really comfortable to talk about it, but it is an enormous amount of money. And we're not just talking about tuition fees. I mean, I worked every summer as well just to afford living in the city of my university. And
definitely.
so there are financial aspects to be, especially for most people, unless you're in that select few group whose parents are able to help them out, then, it is something to think about. And right now, when a lot of things have closed. It's not as easy to get a job anymore. I mean, something again we've talked about trying to look for jobs, and it's just not as easy as it was last year.
Yeah, definitely. But also, I was going to say there's kind of like a misconception that you're going to get a degree and then you're going to have a graduate job. And to be honest,
you're going to have what you're buying, what you think you're buying is security. You think, at least I'm secure, I've always had a job because I have this degree. And that's just a fantasy that I think a lot of students, it's a very postmodern kind of fantasy that a lot of people buy into.
Yeah, everyone that I've spoken to is like, they don't really have, it's not like they haven't been looking for graduate jobs. It is so competitive. And most of the people are literally just looking for basic entry-level jobs that don't even need a degree.
That you don't even need a degree for, exactly.
So,
well,
I don't know.
Well, it's because times are changing, in a world where everyone, essentially, 50 or more of the population has a degree. It's not really an advantage anymore, is it?
Yeah, to be honest, and it's always like, oh, you need to have this sort of experience, that sort of experience, and I feel like
never mind experience, but connections as well.
Yeah, definitely, like being able to kind of, is it called networking basically.
Networking
is like one of the most important things I can do, and I feel like if there's any kind of university students listening out, or just anybody who's looking to get a job in sort of a higher profession, definitely networking and experience are two of the most important things, I think, even more than the actual degree, probably.
Degree, exactly. Or even just looking at, even short courses. If you know a specific thing you want to do, and maybe, you might want to even consider whether, wow, by the way, we're doing a great job of talking people out of going to university. But you might want to look at things like, just ask yourself the question, do I really need a degree for this specific career?
Yeah, definitely. But also,
because 3 years, 4 years potentially is a long time, and as we said, it's not cheap.
And not always worth it in the end, to be honest.
Exactly. So it's just about, we're just being honest. I think neither of us really regret going to university, but we are having second thoughts about, has this really advanced our chances?
Yeah, I think I've definitely not regretted going. I think I've me being able to move out, do my own thing, have my own space, and it's kind of showed me, it's made me definitely more independent. But in terms of it having an advantage over other people that don't have a degree for a certain job, then I don't think it's really made so much of a difference, to be honest.
And I think there are a lot of people whose parents are telling them, and it's they're not exactly wrong, because their parents, in their time, when they would have gone to university or went to university, it was a time where having a degree was an advantage and something that highlighted you from all the other people. Today, that's not really a reality. So I think it's just something to remember, that when you might have parents encouraging you to go to university, just remember that them speaking from their perspective, it it's a different time, basically. So it's not as important for people today to have a degree as it was back then.
Yeah, I think that's definitely like probably the best way to
So
put it. But yeah, I don't know.
it's
It's
an
a tricky
opinion,
sort of,
take it or leave it.
yeah, exactly. It is just my own opinion and my own personal experience. Now, if you ask me the question, did I regret my time? No. Do I regret? Yeah, exactly. And
Let's
do
talk
I?
about the positive.
Yeah. Do I regret going to university? No. But I think
right now in this present time, would we go again? We're not sure.
Yeah, right. Yeah. The thing is, like, if it was me who's going to university now, I think I would take the year out, to be honest, because
Same.
at the
I was
moment.
just saying the same thing. Defer a year and then see if later.
Yeah, and also, don't you think it's how crazy it is that people like from A levels now are getting into university on their predicted grade,
Yeah.
which is so unfair.
I can't even imagine, to be honest. I'm just very grateful that yeah.
But if that was me, like going into my A level, like doing my A levels now, obviously I wouldn't have done them because of the whole virus thing. But like getting in on my predicted grades to university, I would literally that is just such a crazy thing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously something, the times is something to consider as well. How to do anything today, basically, not just university, but how to plan anything.
Yeah, I mean, right now with my time, I've been, I don't know, trying lots of different things, and I think you recommended me like what was like some really good TV shows. I think at least one of them was good. What was it? My Brilliant Friend, which I urge everyone to watch.
I keep saying, by the way, this isn't the original title, but I keep saying My Brilliant Best Friend just because it's alliterate, but the translation is My Brilliant Friend.
Yeah.
So if I say that, just to be clear, that's not the title. It's La Amica Geniale, which I'm guessing it means My Brilliant Friend.
Yeah.
Is what I understand. And it's based on a book. We don't really know the author of these books. We know that it's a woman, but she's not really, I forgot her name, but basically we don't even know if that's her real name.
Oh, okay. So it could be like what they call like a pen name or something.
Exactly, it is a pen name. It's her name. So it was written by Elena Ferrante, but we don't know if that's her real name or if that's,
Yeah, but anyway, I think it's basically set. I think I'm not sure what era is it. Post-war.
It's the 50s, so post World War II. The Naples it's set in.
Yeah, I think in Napoli. Yeah, but I don't know. It was it just covered so many different sort of topics. I guess like there was kind of this idea of. I think there was some sort of element of like friendship, obviously, which was the main thing, and then there was a lot of like.
Well, then just kind of competition between friends, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your friends, you aren't always meant to get along with your friends. The closest people who you kind of think of as your friends, they aren't. You don't even necessarily like them, but there's just something that draws you to.
But I was gonna say, like, it's like the stories, the whole thing is based on. I'm not sure if this is the right term, but is it a protagonist? Like the main protagonist is like the two girls, like the two friends.
Yeah, Lenu, I think her name is Elena. They call her Lenu, but yeah, that's her name.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's a really good TV show that I would definitely recommend watching. It's in Italian, and
but there are subtitles.
There are subtitles, exactly. You know what? I hate when people are like, "Oh, I'm not going to watch this because it's purely because it's in a different language."
I think there's a special place in hell for those people, but I say it.
But there's so many like good TV shows in different languages. Like
they just miss out on. So many people miss out on them just because of this very thin barrier of a different language.
Yeah, but I'm like, can you not read? But I watched
that just says it how it is.
Yeah, I mean, I watch so many like Spanish TV shows, and I don't know like any Spanish whatsoever, but I think they're like a lot better than, I don't know, a lot of other TV shows that are just
and by other we mean American, so just to be clear.
Yeah, but I don't know, some American, I'm not gonna like say, oh, I don't watch like American TV shows. I definitely watch like so much, but it's nice to watch different sorts of stuff, especially now when all you have to do is just watch TV shows essentially.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Basically, I mean, with my time, obviously with quarantine lockdown, which is what would you say? It's like not. What is the best way to put like lockdown? It's not that it's not happening, but it's easing, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like there are more like non-essential shops I think that are opening next week. But did you see? Oh my god, the queue for McDonald's from like my town was
I saw the
so
one in
crazy.
Milton Keynes, and yes, it was. And you'd think, because, everyone is being encouraged to get as healthy as possible.
Yeah.
Given just, obviously trying to take your personal risk into account and lower your chances of getting this, what seems like a very horrible virus. And then so everyone is heading straight to McDonald's. I mean, I think the only positive that came out of this whole pandemic situation is like these fast food places closing down.
Yeah, but did you see that old man in the driveway dressed as a car?
I didn't, but if you send me the link, I'll have a look.
Yeah, but it was just so funny. Like the guy has like a cardboard box car thing, and he's like stood in it in the drive-through, and I was like, oh my god, you're like, you want to have McDonald's that much that you're. It was just wild. But anyway, like where I'm from as well.
People will go to great lengths for their food.
Yeah, for a Big Mac. But like there was a whole queue around like an entire other road from the drive-through, and there was actually like a security person thing like directing traffic. I was like, this is wild.
Oh wow.
People have
I can't relate because even before the pandemic I haven't been a massive McDonald's kind of person.
Yeah, I was
I have a friend. I have friends who can name their entire current menus, and I've never understood that because for me it was always something. If there's a special occasion, like, I don't know, someone visiting, then you go to McDonald's, but it wasn't just something you would do every day.
Yeah, true. Like, I think the last time I had McDonald's was back in January, like, when I was on holiday in Italy, and that was literally it. And I don't...
Well, it's just what to eat in Italy, McDonald's.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, when I went there, it's like pizza, pasta. I mean, not that was already my diet, but, like...
the best.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to be honest, all this talk about food has made me hungry right now.
No, like, I really want to try Chipotle. It's such, like, Americans, like, hype it up so much. And I think they have quite a few branches in London. And I'm like, I just need to go and try this out and then give my own opinion on it. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the portions are massive as well. Like, even though it's in the UK, that you still get massive portions as far as Five Guys are concerned, which I was very surprised by because it's they basically serve you twice the amount that I would eat.
Yeah, I've never been there.
But... No, I went once with my mum because she likes her burgers.
She likes her burgers.
Just can't blame her.
Yeah, I mean, what else have I been doing in lockdown? I mean, I tried sewing for a day.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't go.
For a day, so it lasted very long.
Yeah, I was gonna say it didn't last very long. It was fun at the time. It kept me busy for like a few hours, and then after that, I was like, yeah, I'm done.
That's good.
And then the other thing I have been trying to keep consistent. I think it was the TV show. I don't want to keep going on about the TV show. Watch it, guys. My Brilliant Friend.
Fine.
But then, literally, I think that's the only reason that I started to go and then learn Italian. So I think I think I've been learning Italian for about a month now. And that's been keeping me busy.
Can you give us a sentence or a teaser in what you've picked up?
I knew this was coming. I'm trying to think. So if you want to say, like, my name is, you say mi sono, and then your name. I don't think I'm pronouncing it right, but that's something that I'm going to... Yeah, so you say mi sono Taz. And then if you...
That's interesting, because you'd expect it would be similar to Spanish, whereas in Spanish you would say, mi nombre es Lya, or whatever your name is.
Yeah, you know Spanish properly, don't you?
Well, no is, loose. I used to be fluent, but not speaking it. Yeah, I know. I still remember a bit. That's a more accurate way of saying it.
Yeah, because you spent was it a few years or just a few months, like,
no, it was
living in Spain?
4 years.
4 years living in
Yeah,
Spain.
yeah.
Oh wait, was it in it was down south, wasn't it, in Seville or something? Sevilla or something?
No, no, it was in Alicante, so it's quite close to like the southern coast, so
Oh,
quite
okay.
close to the beach. Yeah, we had we had to move back. I think in 2011 because there was another recession. So.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about how like people would say "cállate."
Yeah, you heard that quite a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean that is what I've been hearing a lot in my Spanish TV shows that I've been watching. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
what
just
I've been
basically
doing.
always one person telling another to shut up. I think
Yeah,
it's something, a practice we should definitely adopt here, because there are just people, especially now, saying so much stupid stuff that you
yeah.
don't even know where to begin.
I think that kind of ties in with what's happening now, I guess, in the news with
Yeah,
the whole
yeah,
Black Lives Matter movement, which I'm hoping it brings change, like I mentioned in the mini episode,
yeah.
kind of just
How
to
are you?
address it.
How are you feeling about all the protests that are going on? Just strictly from like, the like a scientific perspective, like in terms of the virus. Do you think it's helpful or it's a good idea?
I think the news is kind of making things. I don't want to be like, oh, conspiracy theory vibes, but like I think a lot of the news has been kind of putting a bias on a lot of the protests. Things that I've seen with like friends Instagrams and stories and stuff that they've been putting up, it does seem like people for the most part are keeping social distancing. I mean, they're telling people to put on
Yeah, but
masks
I
and
mean, at the
stuff.
end of the day, it's still very large mass. I mean, I don't know if you've seen like the kind of the
Yeah,
helicopter shots on London, but I don't think in instances like that, the 2 meters is what really counts.
yeah.
It's
I mean,
basically a massive number
yeah.
of
To be
people
honest, I
gathering in one
think
place.
that kind of highlights how important this movement is to people, that they're willing to risk their health for it. I think as well.
Yeah, but I mean, on the one hand, on the other, I don't know if it's, the majority of the people, it's important, the movement, but we must remember that there's a very, large number of people who are just frustrated and they just, they want to channel their anger towards something. And I'm not saying that those people, they don't care about Black lives or whatever, but what I'm saying is that it's not the only motive for people going out there being angry and gathering, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the general idea is to bring change, and I think a lot of the times protesting your for your rights and your opinions is kind of the only way forward that we can make
Yeah, it
change.
is. I mean, I'm not saying I have any better answers, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I think a lot of the times in history how like protests have helped to bring a lot of people's rights and changes, especially with like women's votes, like
Yeah.
gay pride and stuff like
Yeah,
that,
and
I guess.
like in any other
Yeah,
situation,
exactly.
I would like be full on board. But just because there is, as far as we know, there is a deadly virus, which people have, there's no evidence for this at the moment. But as far as I know, people with different ethnicities, that might be a risk factor.
Yeah.
Of being so. Just purely from like a health perspective, I'm not really sure if. But then again, I don't have any better answers.
Yeah.
Just something I think is something worth being cautious about as well.
Yeah. But I think, like you said, like the ethnic minorities being more at risk at
which could
having
be
the
simply,
virus.
it doesn't have to be a genetic, factor. It could be something like they just more already more exposed to the virus because they are doing more essential jobs, for example.
Yeah, but I think again, it kind of just highlights how important these protests are to so many people.
I agree.
And even for me, like it's kind of, I don't know, it's a difficult subject to kind of speak on properly without offending anyone, without saying the wrong thing. But then the way I think about it is better to say something than nothing, I guess.
Exactly, and you know that you can't say anything without offending one person at the very least. So I think that's why it's just just say it basically.
Yeah, but I am gonna link some ways that you can help if you are interested. But I think the best way is to just educate yourself and other people around you.
And it's the cheapest way as well, because not everyone is, we're fully aware that not everyone is in a position where they can just donate left and right, especially right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's actually a video on YouTube that someone made. Basically, that if you watch it, you know, like how you watch YouTube videos and you just by watching the adverts, people get money. So like someone's actually just put up this video that people can watch, and then if they obviously don't skip the adverts, then they're using that money from the AdSense to kind of donate, which I think is so like smart and useful, especially for people who don't really have money on hand to just donate.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I think there's loads of different ways to help out if you have money, and if you don't have any, yeah, if you have money to help out, or if you don't, definitely check some different links out. But I think definitely educating yourself and everyone around you.
And just considering small ways of helping, you know, on an individual level. So you don't have to, you know, you don't have to donate, I don't know, X amount of money to be quote unquote helpful. Obviously, if you can do that, then by all means, that's brilliant. But there are also other ways that someone can help. Is the point I'm making?
Yeah.
And educating yourself is definitely one of them.
Yeah, I think I watched the documentary on Netflix called The 13th, and that is like one of the. It's like a documentary that kind of has like things from the start.
I saw that actually. I haven't watched it yet, but yeah.
Yeah, it kind of goes through like.
So you would recommend it?
Yeah, definitely, because it goes through like, kind of the oppression of Black people when they're brought as slaves in America, through kind of right through present day, and it kind of goes through how like injustice against Black people has kind of ingrained in like the American like justice system and everything. But I don't know. I think that
me. I must bear in mind that the UK isn't necessarily neutral in this area either. So it's just I think it's, you know, they have abolished slavery here relatively. You know, I'm saying, you know, using my words carefully, but relatively early if we compare it to something like America. But that doesn't mean that the UK would be completely neutral when it comes to racial issues.
Yeah, because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Britain's not like that," but if you look at the history,
that's exactly what I wanted to address. So that's not really the reality of it. So if you need evidence, just take a walk down the British Museum.
Yeah, exactly. And the crazy thing is that people in retaliation, I was going to say that word so wrong then, but like in retaliation to the Black Lives Matter movement, a lot of people are saying all lives matter, and that is like, it drives me so crazy
because
and mad.
It's just completely missing the point.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Not all lives are, you know, at risk, especially in America right now. Not all people are targeted in the same way. And
exactly.
Regardless of how uncomfortable we are at admitting this,
yeah, I think
certain people of certain groups, they are just more, you know, marginalized, and
I think that's what it is.
We shouldn't get too political here, but let's just remember that their president is not really helping this in any way.
Yeah,
quite the opposite actually.
I think, like you said, the thing that highlights it the most, people who are basically white just feel uncomfortable about the conversation, and I think the feeling of it being uncomfortable, then you know that there's something wrong, basically.
Basically, I think what I would say, and like end this with, it's you know, it's specifically for white people, but for, you know, everyone else, is just getting comfortable with the idea of being uncomfortable.
Yeah, definitely. I think it is a kind of a complex situation because it has a complex history. But I think we all have to address it and talk about it if we want
and also
things
the sooner the better, because it's not something that's going to get solved overnight.
Yeah, and you know the most surprising thing is that these protests and riots, they're happening in 2020. Like you wouldn't think that still would be an issue, especially like after America like has themselves had a black president. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why it's also important to remember that even if you think that something like this is old news because we're in this quote-unquote modern and enlightened, you know, world, then, you know, here's the perfect example that that's not really actually the reality, that it's a very long way to go and to keep learning. Yeah.
So how long has this podcast been on for?
I'm not even looking at the time anymore. I'm just...
I'm not sure. Should we wrap this one up then?
Yeah.
I think definitely ending on this note will probably be the best way, I think. So please definitely educate yourself and others.
Hoping
Yeah,
that you've enjoyed listening to this.
yeah,
And
exactly.
it's been educational on some small level or other, and that you'll tune in next time as well.
Yeah, I think you've probably said it the best way, but definitely an
Thank you.
important topic to address. And obviously, I don't know everything. Lya doesn't know everything. We're continually like educating
in no
ourselves.
way claiming to be experts. This is bearing in mind that this is just our own personal and
Exactly,
probably very
yeah.
biased opinion.
So
it's just something to bear in mind.
yeah, definitely. And I think I'm gonna link some other people that
Some
have
actual experts.
yeah, not only that, but people who've said it in a much more like elegant way than we
Yeah,
could probably
no, we
do.
could.
So thank you guys for listening, and yeah, see you guys next time. Bye.